Hi guys, it's Erica, your Jamberry lady, thesemusicjams.jamberry.com. I thought that even though there are a ton of application videos out there, I thought that I would do my own and show you guys my process. My nails have already been prepped. I wash my hands with Dawn dish soap, then I make sure that my nails are super clean and super dry. Then after that, what I do is I take my orange stick and I go along all the edges around the outside edge of my nails and clean off all that invisible cuticle and just really make sure that my nails are completely clean and free of any oils and debris. After I've cleaned my cuticles, I wash my hands again, and then I use an alcohol wipe. I get cheapies over at like CVS or Target, and wipe my nails completely clean, and then I give it just a couple of seconds for that alcohol to dry, and I'm ready to apply my wraps. So I am going to actually apply one of the finishes of wraps that are a little bit more troublesome or sometimes harder for people to do. I'm going to do a satin wrap, which is a cross between a metallic and a matte finish. And I am going to cut that wrap. I am not fancy at all about the way that I cut my wraps off my sheet. And then you want to make sure that you are not touching any of the back of the wrap that is going to be touching your nail. So I grab it just by that little tiny corner, and then I take my orange stick and I just kind of stick it to the end of the orange stick. I'm gonna turn on my heater here. You can use a blow dryer. The heater is so much easier for hands-free process. So now I'm gonna warm up my wrap, but I'm only gonna warm it up just a tiny, tiny bit. The satin wraps are one of the types of wraps that require the least amount of heat. So I am going to just barely stick it in front of there. It hasn't even bent or done anything like that. And I'm going to take my wrap and I am going to just barely place it on my nail. I'm not going to press it down. I'm not going to do anything like that. You want to make sure that the wrap on any edge of the cuticle or the sides of the nail are not touching the cuticle. They're not touching the skin because they will not stick. Then I'm going to take my wrap and I'm going to put it right in front of that heat, just a little bit. And then I'm just going to do this from side to side. Then I'm going to heat again, and I'm going to pull this edge up like that. And I'm going to keep going side to side, a little bit more heat. Then I'm going to take my little cuticle pusher. This thing is awesome. I'm going to go all the way around my edges with a lot of pressure. And I am going to make sure that I have no wrinkles and no bubbles. And I'm just going to smooth that sucker out. These wraps are very pliable and very easy to work with. So you can really iron out, and I don't know if you can see up close, but there are no wrinkles, no bubbles, and I am just going to keep going around my edges like that because I really like to make sure I get a lot of pressure and that the seal is good. And then I'm going to go at the tips, and I'm going to take my finger on the opposite hand here and do the same thing. I'm going to apply just a tiny bit more heat just so that I can pull. I do a little bit of pull and stretch with my wraps at the edges, at the tips. Not much, but just enough to make sure that it is really up at the edges. I'm going to take my cuticle pusher again and go all over. And then I'm going to wait for my wrap to cool. While I'm waiting for my wrap to cool, I want you guys to see the edges, the sides of my nail. Colby, if you could just zoom in. Do you see right there, there's that sliver of nail that I do not have covered with my wrap. That is super important, and I really encourage all of you to really embrace that gap. Nobody sees that gap but you. It is always good to err on the size of smaller when you are applying your wraps, because that way you know that your wraps are not going to touch the skin, which means they're not going to bubble or pucker or lift or give you any trouble. So now that my wrap, for the sake of this video, is cool enough, I am going to get my file, and I am going to file down at a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to be super gentle and delicate because I don't want my wraps to fray at the edges. A lot of people like to use clippers or trimmers. I am not good with those, so I really prefer to file mine because I don't like trimming. And I get that off, and I'm just gonna make sure that my edges are nice and clean. You do not want any wrap hanging over your edge of your nail. And I just kind of like to get the sides a little bit and really make sure that the edges are free of any excess wrap. And voila, that is how I do my wraps. Prep is always the most important part. Always, always, always make sure that you spend a lot of time on prep. If you've ever been to a nail salon, 90% of what they do at the nail salon is all prep work. And the last little bit of your trip to a nail salon is just the nail polish or whatever they're putting on your nails. So prep is important. Nail care is important. After you've applied your wraps and you let those sit a while, I usually wait till bedtime. I take my cuticle oil because essentially when we have done our prep work, we've dehydrated the nail. We've made sure that it's free of oils. We've made sure that it's nice and dry. Once that seal has been created and those are really on there nice and good, you can take, Janberry has cuticle oil, but you can get cuticle oil at any store. And I like to take that, if I can get this sucker open here, around the edge, and really make sure that my cuticles are nice and hydrated. I do that every night at bedtime. So that way when it's time to remove my wraps, and I'm very gentle when I remove them, but then your nails aren't dry underneath there after your wraps have been on for your 10 to 14 days. Your nails are still going to be really beautiful and healthy and undamaged after you've worn your wraps or your gel and you're ready for your next set. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks and have a good day.